From high-speed rail networks stretching across entire provinces to colossal dams, record-breaking bridges, and cities that seem to rise out of nowhere. It often feels like China builds everything faster, bigger, and bolder than anyone else. But here's the unexpected part. Finding reliable, up-to-date information on China's newest megaprojects, especially in Western media, is surprisingly difficult. And that is exactly why we're here today. Hey everyone, I'm Louis, and in this video, we're breaking down 10 of China's biggest and most important megaprojects, some already completed, others still under construction, and a few on the brink of rewriting engineering history. Let's jump straight into the list. 10. The Shenzhen-Zhongshan Link. We begin in the Pearl River Delta, where an absolutely massive engineering achievement has just been completed, the 24-kilometer Shenzhen-Zhongshan Link. This mega crossing isn't just a bridge, it's a hybrid system combining long-span bridges, artificial islands, and a deep-water underwater tunnel, all seamlessly connected into one continuous route. And this design wasn't chosen because it looked cool in renderings. It was necessary. The Pearl River Delta is one of China's busiest maritime corridors. Trying to build one giant bridge across it would have been extremely dangerous for passing ships, not just during construction, but even after completion. We've already seen how catastrophic a single collision can be, like the collapse of Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. So engineers went for a much safer strategy. They lowered prefabricated tunnel segments, each weighing tens of thousands of tons, deep beneath the shipping lanes. This is similar to the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau crossing just a bit farther south. Special ships were built just for this purpose, floating giants capable of precisely lowering these tunnel segments onto the seabed. Each piece had to be positioned with almost surgical accuracy. When the crossing finally opened in 2024, it slashed travel time between Shenzhen and Zhongshan from more than 2 hours down to roughly 30 minutes. And with a direct connection to Shenzhen's Bao'an International Airport, this route is more than just a commuter shortcut. It's now a major strategic link for cargo, logistics, and airport traffic. Number 9. The Pinglu Canal. Next, we head inland to a project reshaping the logistics map of southern China, the Pinglu Canal in Guangxi province. This massive canal is being carved to directly connect the inland city of Nanning to the Baibu Gulf and ultimately the South China Sea. It forms a core part of the new international land-sea trade corridor, a trade route designed to link China's inland industrial zones with Southeast Asia. Construction began in 2022, and the biggest engineering challenge isn't the water, it's the earth. Crews need to excavate over 300 million cubic meters of material. To put that into perspective, the amount of earth moved for the Panama and Suez canals is a helpful comparison. That's the scale we're talking about. Engineers are also building new locks and reshaping existing rivers to ensure water levels stay stable and ships can move safely. Once complete, the canal will stretch over 130 kilometers, effectively transforming Nanning from an inland city to a coastal gateway. The project is expected to be finished in 2026. Number 8. Chongqing East Railway Station. At number 8, we have the newly opened Chongqing East Railway Station, the largest passenger railway station on Earth. At a staggering 1.2 million square meters, this station is larger than many full-scale international airports. Located in the Nan'an district of Chongqing, it serves as a major convergence point for several of China's biggest high-speed rail corridors. From here, trains shoot out towards Chengdu, Xi'an, Guiyang, Wuhan, and, once the Sichuan-Tibet line opens, deep into far western regions. To handle this massive rail traffic, the station was built on a mind-blowing scale. 15 platforms and 29 tracks, engineered to eliminate bottlenecks even during peak travel periods. But perhaps the most impressive detail isn't the size, it's the speed of construction. Building began in 2018, and by 2025, the station was fully operational. This level of speed was only possible because construction teams used advanced robotics. Robots handled welding, wall installation, concrete finishing, hazard detection, and drones with AI inspected worksites continuously. China isn't just building megaprojects fast, it's building them with increasingly sophisticated technology. Number 7. The 26-megawatt offshore wind turbine. Before we continue with transportation, let's stop to look at something huge, literally. China has constructed a record-breaking 26-megawatt offshore wind turbine, currently the world's largest in both capacity and rotor diameter. For comparison, most high-end offshore turbines deliver only half that capacity. This single turbine can power 55,000 homes, all by itself. Standing 185 meters tall with an unbelievable 310-meter rotor diameter, this turbine even surpasses the specs of many models that haven't been released yet. And that's only one unit. Imagine an entire wind farm operating at this scale. Number 6. The Central Yunnan Water Diversion Project. At number 6, we traveled to southwest China and one of the country's most ambitious water engineering projects, the Central Yunnan Water Diversion Project. Yunnan Province is home to the mighty Jinsha River, yet paradoxically, much of central Yunnan, including the capital Kunming, faces chronic water shortages. China's solution? Move water to where people actually need it. This project fits into the country's larger strategy of water redistribution, similar to the enormous North-South water transfer project. Engineers are constructing a system over 600 kilometers long, with more than 90% of it running through tunnels beneath rugged terrain. This includes the world's longest water tunnel and the largest underground pump room ever built. When fully operational, the system will supply water to 11 million people, supporting entire cities, agriculture, and industry. This project isn't just about infrastructure, it's about reshaping where people can live and how regions can survive long-term.
5. Greater Bay Area Sports Center. Number 5 brings us to a stunning architectural and engineering achievement, the Greater Bay Area Sports Center, designed by Zaha Hadid Architects. Construction began in 2023, and unbelievably, athletes were already competing inside just 2 years later. The centerpiece is a 60,000-seat stadium designed for football and major outdoor events. Next to it stands a 20,000-seat indoor arena for basketball and large competitions, along with a 4,000-seat aquatic center featuring Olympic-size pools. But this project is about more than fast construction or sleek architecture. It sits right at the heart of the Greater Bay Area, a region connecting Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and Macau, with a combined population exceeding 86 million. High-speed rail, airports, and expressways link the entire region, so this complex isn't designed for one city, it's designed for an entire megacluster. Number 4. Jin-Qimen Nuclear Power Plant. At number 4, we have the Jin-Qimen Nuclear Power Plant, one of China's newest and most strategically important energy projects. The plant uses the Hualong-1 reactor design, China's own third-generation technology. Once operational, it's expected to produce around 55 terawatt-hours of electricity annually, enough to supply half of the energy needs of Ningbo, a major coastal city with millions of residents. The plant will significantly reduce fossil fuel dependence and cut carbon emissions by roughly 45 million tons per year. Of course, nuclear energy always comes with challenges, from waste management to operational safety, but its importance in China's long-term clean energy strategy is undeniable. Number 3. Huazhong Canyon Bridge. At number 3, we look at a project that is simply breathtaking, The Huazhang Canyon Bridge recently opened to the public, and at 625 meters above the ground, it is now the highest bridge in the world. The bridge spans a nearly 3-kilometer distance, with a main span covering almost half of that. While it took only 3.5 years to construct, the challenges were immense. The canyon is incredibly deep and rugged, making typical construction impossible. Cranes can't reach such heights, and assembling the bridge deck from both sides wasn't viable due to the huge span. So engineers came up with a wild solution, using the main suspension cable as a zip line to move deck sections into place. Giant steel pieces were slowly transported from the tower tops and lowered into the middle of the gorge, where workers anchored them to suspension cables. Today, the bridge is part of the Liuji-Anlong Expressway, cutting travel time across the canyon by over an hour. Number 2. Xiong'an New Area. At number 2, we have one of China's most ambitious long-term urban projects, Xiong'an, a planned city costing tens of billions of dollars. Located about 100 kilometers south of Beijing, this city is meant to serve as a development hub for the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei economic zone. In China, there's a phrase, big city disease. It refers to how megacities struggle with pollution, congestion, and overloaded public services. Xiong'an is meant to help relieve that pressure. Government departments have already begun to relocate, and high-speed transport links to Beijing are operational. One of the most advanced districts is the Xiong'an Science and Technology Innovation Center, where research institutions and major companies are setting up operations. Over 1 million people already live in the region, and by 2035, that number is expected to grow to 5 million. What makes Xiong'an unique is that it's being built entirely from scratch, allowing planners to design the city with future needs in mind. It's constructed as a sponge city, meaning it absorbs, filters, and reuses rainwater through permeable roads, wetlands, green corridors, and retention basins. For a region that faces both flooding and water scarcity, this approach is crucial. Over the next few decades, Xiong'an is expected to become a core pillar of northern China's economy. And finally, at number 1, we have what might be the most ambitious railway project on the planet, the Sichuan-Tibet Railway. Stretching over 1,600 kilometers, it connects Chengdu in Sichuan province to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. When completed, it will cut travel time from 2 days by road to just 13 hours. But the real story here is the terrain. The railway carves through the Tibetan Plateau, one of the most extreme landscapes on Earth. We're talking sheer cliffs, massive elevation changes, deep gorges, landslides, and frequent earthquakes. Some sections rise above 4,000 meters, requiring specialized oxygen systems for trains. Construction is happening in phases. The Chengdu-Ya'an section opened in 2018, the Lhasa-Ningqi section opened in 2021, and now they're working on the brutal part. Over 90% of the final segment will be made up of tunnels or bridges, including 72 tunnels and 93 bridges. If China completes this project, it will be one of the most extraordinary railway journeys ever built. Honorable mention, Medog Hydropower Station. Before we wrap up, we have an honorable mention, a project so massive it deserves its own video. The Medog Hydropower Station, once completed, will become the largest power generating facility on Earth. The estimated cost, around $167 billion. And like the Sichuan-Tibet Railway, it's being built in the brutally challenging terrain of the Tibetan Plateau. We'll cover this one in its own deep dive.